this is the video going to be for UiPath development of a flow which is going to read something from a CSV and put it across in the UrbanPro website for me to generate event login IDs. So I'm coming back and we're going to add all the informations whichsoever is available in this particular CSV. We're going to pick it up. This is the CSV, and from this CSV I'm going to pick up all the 15, I suppose so, all the 15 columns. I'm going to add it, not all the 15, sorry. So I'm going to pick up what are the columns required, and then I'm going to put it across in the as a queue item in my UiPath Orchestrator. So let's go ahead and let's check it out how it is like we need to do it. So what we are going to do, I guess, again, like just confirming it back, reading from the CSV and put it on the UrbanPro website. So for that I've just created what is the read CSV one I have created, and then I've given the path of the CSV file and the output to a data table just by selecting an output name and then creating a variable. So this is the data table of the UiPath. So once after that, what I did, I need to put it to a queue item in the UiPath Orchestrator. So to add a UI queue item, I have called activity called as queue item, and then I have given the input input queue name is queue name Eventbrite, which I need to create it, and then I need to add the collections. For adding the collection, I need to pick each and every entry of the CSV. So for each and every entry, there is something called as for each row is available, for each control flow is available. So I'm not going for a general one, I'm going picking up something called as for each row, which is under data tables. So I have picked up, I have given a name for each order in event data, and inside the body I have placed it. So now I need to add the collections. For adding the collections, I need to start giving the name. So one is like odd in number, so which is my first one. So first one is like my each and every order, the name is order of 0, because always the column will be starting from 0 to, that's it guys. It is not picking up the reason. I do have a check, just a minute. What it thinks. Oh, I have instead of giving 0, I have given okay. So this is the first column. So similarly I need to do it for whatsoever column I want. So bear me, I will just pause the recording now, and then I will be back for entering whatsoever is required, and then I will continue back. Yeah guys, I'm back. So I have made the collection entries, if you see here over here. So I've created order hash was there, hash was not accepting because order names needs to contain only the strings and not the symbols. So order number, order date, first name, last name, email ID, mobile number, job operator, company and country I have made it as India, but we can able to we need to make it automated in the next version of the flow edition, but at this point in time I'm storing it as India. So I'm giving OK. So now we need to make sure if I run this flow, it needs to read and it needs to update in the particular queue, which is called as Eventbrite. So let me go ahead and create a particular queue in the website. So I will be going from here, try UiPath for free, so which will take me to the actual portal. It's coming up. It takes longer duration than expected. So I have already created my account, so I can always log in with my creds. So I'm going to log in with my Google ID. I think yes, it has been logged in. So this is my orchestrator website. So I am having something called as MJIT default. There you go. I'm going to add it. I'm going to create a queue called as Eventbrite. So for that purpose only we have come here. So let's go ahead and create it. So before it gets loaded itself, I'm keep moving, so the view is not that great. It has come. What it says, some alerts are there. I'm going back to my default. So usually I store everything under default, not under a modern folder. So default folder I'm using it across. So I'm going to use something called as Eventbrite, and description to store the event information, unique reference, If I give yes, then I need to mention the column. I don't have any unique reference at this point. Number of retries 1. I'm not actually adding any retries. So let me create the event bright queue. Done. Now event bright queue is available. So if I run this particular flow, so it needs to pick from the CSV and then it needs to put it on the event item. So let's have it tested. Before that I need to close this, then only it will be working. So I am not saving it, I'm closing it across. So let's run it through and let's see whether all the information is getting popped up over there or not. So I'm going to run. Yep. Oh. This will not work because I have clicked on normal run, which I am not supposed to do it. Okay. Anyway, it got completed. So I need to run file. Where is my file? Here I go, run file. Queue name may not be null or empty. So, okay, so queue name we are not passing anything. That is what it says. So event bright and the default name I'm giving is event bright. So now this will be picking up and it will execute. Run file. So there are almost 77 entries. So if I refresh, if some entries is popping up over here, so that's more than enough. Is that getting processed? Yes, 14 entries. So I can confirm that it is working up. And if you want to see a transaction, so view transaction, I can pick up let me say first one I'm picking up just for view details. Yes, it is coming up, so I'm just closing it across. Okay, so that is working fine as per my knowledge. It is like it needs to have an entry of 77 or 78 entries. Hopefully there are no errors listed over here. So until now there are no errors. It says it is done. 58 seconds it took to complete it. So let me get inside the particular queue and let's see what it is having. So 77 entries are available. So this is like then that's like a correct what is it? It is like working as expected. So next is what we want to do is we need to add this flow inside the particular REFramework. In the REFramework, we are having something called as initialization. So I am going to get inside initialization, and there is something called as init all settings. So init all setting is something like which going to run what I say for once, and init application going to get triggered for every time if there is a failure. So we need to keep something which is inside this particular block so that it will be of greater one. The reason behind is here we are checking if config is nothing. In sense, if the config variable is nothing, then perform it. But usually config variable first time only will be nothing, from the next time it will be having something. So if config is nothing, then they are loading init all settings they are doing. Then queue name is specified, like they are picking the queue name from the output. The whatsoever queue name we are passing, that is being picked up. And then um, if some application been used for the purpose of business, so those things can be closed. So that is what it meaning. So we're going to pick up once the queue name is done, we can add it over here, or at the last we can able to add it. So I am going to pull it across and drop it here at the last, and we can rename this to invoke um, what is the name we will call it as worker, and what is the other name we can call it as. So usually I will be maintaining some naming convention. So let me go back and let me check in our flows what is the naming convention we are using. So yes, dispatcher, invoke dispatcher bot. So dispatcher bot is something like which is going to be actually going to make something to run do things for us. So this is the dispatcher board, it is done. So we need to now edit the config file, open the project, explore the data. There is something called as file config. So I have opened it. So I need to put orchestrator queue name. So queue name, I need to put a value over here. Here the value is event bright. I'm not using at this point in time anything else, so I'm just saving it across and closing it. So even bright variable will be in the orchestrator. So that alone we need to pass it over here. So if you see in orchestrator queue name, they are storing something called as config of queue name. So I can pass something uh, to this. So the I'm passing it across for a while. So what we are having is we are having some variable called as UrbanPro. On this one we're going to move this as an argument, because the reason is if it's an argument then we can able to always pick it from the um, uh, parent flow, or we can pass it to the uh, next flow. So we're going to use this argument. In the argument it is event pride, and default value is event pride. I have given just for a namesake and I'm naming it. In the parent, if it's showing as import arguments, here it's showing as event, so I'm going to convert this to config orchestrator dot qname dot to string. Done. So now if I run my flow, it will read that and it's going to put it across over the particular queue item. So we need to see whether it is reading and it's going to processing. So it's going to take a little more time than what we are expecting. It is not only whatsoever we are adding, but already 77 is already available and 77 more going to be pushed to across. So it's going to be 140 54, I suppose, if I am not wrong with my mathematics. So let's go ahead and trigger it and let's see. I'm going to not going to use run file, I'm going to use run this point in time. So the config file has been saved and everything is available, so run. And this time also we're going to monitor it whether this 77 entries is going to get increased or not. If one entry is increasing, yes, it is increasing. If you see 77, 183, 86, 87, 88, 90, it will go until 154. After 154 it will stay over there, and what it will happen is it will be like uh, uh, then processing each and every entry. The new status needs to start changing to a different naming. So 10 is better, I think so. Let me have a 10 view itself, that is better view. So 133, 135, 137, 39, 40, 42, 44, 45, 47, 8, 50, and then it is 53 and 54. Now what will happen is each and every entry needs to start moving from new to a different status. That is what needs to happen at this point in time. The reason behind us, everything is getting processed, started processing. So for that we can go to the queues and we can refresh and see. So in progress, if you see, one is in progress. 147 remaining. It is not showing the exact count, but it has started successful is 6. If you see, 1 is in progress, 6 is successful. So similarly, so all the 154 needs to get over. So it's going to take some time. I'm pausing the video at this point in time and let's come back once it is done. As I said, it is taking long time. I just wanted to show you the outputs, how it will be looking like usually. So if you see, it's picking up each and everything, number 122, 124, 125. So it's picking up. It needs to go till it not does anything, it just locks it. So these locks can be always watched from our orchestrator window, going there, going here, and then here. From here, logs are there. So in this logs, if you see, it's showing. So this is how it will be like. Usually we will be actually seeing it across for everything. This is for future purpose, but this is not part of our video, but still I just want to show you this will be added. So I'm going back and pausing the video for a while, and if you see now, The output says all 154 data has been processed successfully. So it means we could able to pick, we could able to put it in the um, orchestrator as a queue item. So now we need to add something for a transaction item. What we're going to do is we're going to open our UrbanPro website on a Chrome browser, and then click several links, um, add each and every student for a particular, what I say, for a particular course. Still I have not added the course, so what I will do is I will quickly add a course, I will quickly add a batch, I will have it ready so that our bot can able to process each entry efficiently. So until then, I'm again pausing the video. I'm going to open my UrbanPro website, and then I will pass it across UrbanPro, because we're going to use a Chrome browser. The reason is I have already added a Chrome tool, which is like we can able to add it always from, if I go to my home section, there is something called as tools. Under there, install the browser extension. So I have already installed the browser extension for the Chrome, so I don't want to do it once again. For Edge and other things I have not added it, so by default it will be working with Internet Explorer without any addition. As we are going to use Chrome, I have added it across, and I need to figure out for other browsers also. At this point I'm using Chrome, Edge only. Mostly I am not using anything else. Opera I am using for my own purpose, but not for this automated purpose, because most people are using Chrome or Edge browsers. Okay, I'm passing my video, and I will be working on my particular addition, which is my local tasks, and I will be right back. So courses, so course has been added. It is available under the courses. If I go under the courses, I am having some courses called as, oh sorry, under my profile information, under that there is a course available. So let's go and do that. For that, what we need to do is we need to do something called as web, open a browser and then do task inside the browser. So what I'm going to do right now right here is, uh, let's see, like creating a browser, opening a browser, every time it will click on something, it will do, click on something, it will do, click on something, it will do. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try it across. So for that, let's have a quick try. So I'm going to create another one, new sequence, named it as add to UrbanPro under Eventbrite registration, or else UrbanPro entry. Great. So it got created. So first of all, what I am going to do is I'm going to do a open a browser. So open browser, available, yes, it's available. So what is the URL I'm going to hit is, so urbanpro.com is the website which we're going to hit it across. So I'm hard coding at this point in time. Later I will be converting it as a variable. For the testing purpose I'm going to do it now. So urbanpro.com. So if I hit entry, so every time this will open a urbanpro.com. So once urbanpro.com is opened, so I need to close it also. So for that there is something called as close tab. So once all the activity is over, so it needs to close the tab. For that I need to store what is the variable in the UI browser. UI browser is, so I'm storing something called as UrbanPro browser, create a variable entry. So I'm going to pass the same UrbanPro browser over here. If you see in the input, I need to pass, so UrbanPro browser. So it makes, it opens and it closes every time, every transaction it runs, it's going to do it at this point in time. So inside the do activity I need to do something. So for that, browser got opened. So once the browser is open, so we need to go for a entry. If I type urbanpro.com, what it comes, so that is the important thing. So if UrbanPro comes, so this comes with this name because it's going to capture this name. So we need to make sure anything we open, the tab name needs to be this. So I'm going to add activity which is related to browsing, which is type in is available or select is available. So I'm going to use something called as select or something called as click. So there are multiple UI items: click, double click, then we are having click text is available. So or there are multiple things available. I am going to use click. It's going to be click text only because we're going to call it text one. So I'm going to indicate that it's a calendar. So calendar is selected. So there it needs to click on the text called as calendar. So what it will do is it will open, it will button click, it will target click on the target called as calendar, and then it will close the browser. So let's see whether it opens, it does the activity, and it happens. So running it across, it is opening. Oh my god, it is opening UrbanPro over here. Here there is nothing called as calendar, so it will not work. The flow going to fail. The reason behind is it doesn't see anywhere something called as calendar text, and it doesn't matches the entry. The reason is I have not opened the Chrome browser. I have clicked on something else, so I am closing it. Sorry, I have already told you we need to select the browser type. So Chrome. Executing the other time, so let's see whether it opens. It happens what we are expecting. No, I am passing. Click with the text comparison is not working, so I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to add an activity called as same click, but just a click, and I need to specify where it is exactly. So I'm specifying it is over this calendar, so it's just noted that alone. So let's see whether if I run this, it's picking up or not. So debug run file, it's opening urbanpro.com, going and it's clicking, and it's closing immediately. So once after click, what we need to do, actually once after the click we need to go and click on this add button. So first of all we need to click on this add button. So further what we're going to do is we're going to add another one click. So activities, there is something called as click. I'm going to put it across over here. Here I need to select it, and I need to select this click button. Great. So save, and then I'm going to rerun this. See, it's opening, it's clicking on calendar, it's going add, and then it's closing across. So until add it is working fine. Next comes the major part, because add is just a pop-up it is showing. So under the pop-up what is happening we need to see. So if I click on add, there is something called a class schedule, so that needs to be clicked. So activities, click, again I am putting a dot, something called as click, and clicking on that, and I am clicking on class schedule. So once after class schedule, it's popping up something where I need to put some values. So this comes the harder part. So I'm holding this. Apart from this, it needs to open and it needs to do the class schedule task, and then it needs to close it across. Saving, run the file. Let's see. It's opening the browser. UrbanPro has opened. It has clicked on calendar. It has clicked on add. It's like, yes, everything is now happening. So by this time I'm just pausing this video, and I will come back with the next part. So welcome guys, welcome guys, this is a quick turnaround. I have added few more tasks, activities we can call tasks. So but I will explain you what is happening over here. So first one we have seen clicking the calendar, so I will start renaming it actually. Click calendar. Then what we are clicking is click add. This is click add. The next one is click schedule. Until here we have seen. So I have added a little more, which is like after clicking on the schedule, the iframe pop-ups or pop-up is coming. In that we need to select a particular day, or time zones, and then we need to select on click on add new student. Again, from that pop-up it populates a new pop-up, and in that pop-up there is a drop down list and then some name entries. So what I have did, I will just go through from here one after other. So until here we have clicked on schedule. So after schedule comes, we need to select on the date. So click date to change the date. So it is click start date, this one. So later we have click date, exact date. Then again okay, we need to rename it. Click start date input, and this is click start date. And then we are having like a um, type start time. This is putting the time across, and then this is something related to uh, type end time, and then there is something called as, this is again so similar to the uh, start date. So click end date, this is. Then this is click end date input, this is. And the next one is click end date. We are selecting dates. After that click new student. Then we are selecting select course from drop down. Post that we are having something type name student name. So let me explain. Now we have named it properly, so now I could able to explain you what is what. So until here we see click 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 only. So after that also we're going to use a click, but a little different method, because this is a pop-up as we have told. So we need to select which division, like which dev of the screen is being captured. So exactly we need to select that screen. So what I did is once after just selecting that particular available date location, we need to go back to the selector. There is something called as, in the properties window there is something called a selector. So click on the selector, and there is something called as UI. Open in UI Explorer. If I open in UI Explorer, what it's going to do is it will be storing at the point in time what are the different um, what I say, different screens are available on our desktop, in that exactly under which frame these inputs are available. So I have opened each and every drop down, each and every objects I have expanded, and at last I have selected the exact place where it is needs to be clicked, and I have clicked on the save button. So I will show you that also once let it run. So after run we will be having that, so that I can able to show you. Or else what I will do is I will open another one window. I will go to my UrbanPro. Okay, so here we are clicking first on, what is that we are clicking, click calendar. Then we need to click on add. Then we need to click on schedule. Then the pop-up comes. Here I need to select on this click needs to happen because this is not on a normal page, it is a pop-up, so I need to validate where this is. So now going back to this date input, I'm selecting this, open UI Explorer. How I have exactly selected, I will just show you. If you see chrome.exe calendar, it will be like shown over here. So in that box I have selected that first of all, and then started expanding each and every entries, and I finally found there is something called as this input DP, where we are having the value. How I have validated, if I click on this, it will be highlighting, and I have minimized my console to I have minimized my this console to validate whether it is highlighting at the particular place. So this is how we need to select where it is exactly highlighting. The same method we're going to use it for even for the purpose of upcoming selections also. That is means is end date input, and also on the drop down. So most of the places we going to use the same method to figure out, because with a normal click it will not able to capture exactly which division, which place of the web page this is getting populated. So we need a UI Explorer where we could able to expand and figure out. Always use this highlighting so that we could able to capture exactly the exact value. So this is how I have captured. So I'm just closing this, and this is what I have captured over here. So after that we have selected the click start date, and this start date is and one more small change I have did over here. Here there is something called as web control ID we will get be generating. It will be having some random ID. Why I have removed that random DP, and then there will be some name. Why I have removed that is the reason behind is, if it's a pop-up, every time the ID going to be different. So I am leaving it as wildcard character star. So any value comes, it will be picking up. Then there is something called a start date I have picked up. I have kept that screen, and then I have collected. It is exactly capturing. Even here also you can go ahead and see where exactly we need to capture. So this is also a normal click, and then this is just a typing. After a normal click, if you see, it's a normal click. Start time, it's just a normal click. After clicking on that, I have given 11:00 AM, and then I have pressed on the tab button. The reason why I am not used to enter is, usually if I am been there, after typing it I will give a tab. So that is the exact reason why I have selected tab and not enter. If I give enter, it will click on the save, not on the tab. So the tab is happening. Then at the another one, that end time I'm selecting, that is 1 o'clock 11 AM, and then 1 PM I need to select, and then tomorrow's date, it is 11th July, it needs to select. It is so similar to the top one. I11 got selected. Then we need to click on add student. So this is again the same story continues, nothing different, it's just a click. This is something new. This is something called a select. If I type it something on called a select over here, we are getting multiple select items. If you see, so in that which we are going to select is, there is something called as element control. So under element control there is select item, select multiple. Select multiple item is for checkboxes, and select item is for something related to a uh, particular only one item to select. So what I did is I have clicked there. So it is so similar to add it and identify the element. So what I did is I have identified this element. Once after this element, I need to give which option out of that we need to select. So for that we can get a get element, and then we can store it in array, and then we can run through, pick whatsoever it is required. We can do all sorts of those things, but I have not did everything. Instead of that, I have made it little simple. I have directly gave the name which is displaying over here, that is RPA training. This is the value which is storing in the backside also. So I have did it. If we couldn't able to do this, the simple way is as simple as like that. Click on recording web, and then select what you want to record. If it's an open browser, or it's a click, it's a typing, it's a copy, element, text, image, whatsoever you want to do over a web recording, do it. it will add a entry at the last. It will add a new activity. From that you can copy and paste it across whatsoever we have did till now. Next one is type. This is normal type. Selected that, indicated that element, and then give what is the typing. So here we can continue providing the name, number, and everything. So at this point time it is typing as testing. What we need to pass is we need to start passing the exact name. So for that we need to start creating the variables. So the first variable going to be name, student name, which we have earlier already stored. So I'm making sure the scope is completely outside also, that is fully outside. So I have set the scope to UrbanPro entry. Student name, what are the other values required is mobile number. So I have selected it as mobile number. So again I'm selecting the scope as everything, and email ID, email ID. So instead of student name, mobile number, yep. So these three things I have made it. Again scope I have forgot to set. Okay, done. Three things. Now what I need to do is I need to pass that what is the type of variable what we have selected here over here is it is string, mobile number needs to be going to be integer, and email ID going to be string. Okay, done. So what we want to do is here I need to pass something called as student name. Done and dusted. Then we need to add on more activity called as type into. Again I need to click on it, I need to select on the number, and then I need to select this mobile number over there. So I need to give mobile number dot to string, because it'll usually accepts only string value because it is called as text. So it will accept maximum string value, so I have given that string. So type student name, this is type number. Then there is another one called as type email ID. So again I need to select it, email ID I have selected. So here I need to type email ID. That's it. So what is happening is type email ID. Done. So we have did with almost all the things. After giving everything, we need to click on the, so for namesake I'm just giving something so that it will get enabled. I need to capture it. So activity is going there, and then I need to click, I need to select, place this, add student. Done. So this will add the first student. So in this method I need to keep on repeating until all the transactions going to get over. So let's see whether this adds the values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the student name as my name, and there is something called as mobile number. I'm going to give I'm just giving mobile number. This is not a constant. Why it is telling this is a constant? I doubt this is supposed not to be a constant. So let's start picking up. Thank you. It is showing a string. So everything I'm showing it a string. So this to string is not required at this point in time. So I'm removing it across. Still it will be working. So variables, and the final one is email ID. So I'm just info@mjid.in. So let's see across how this exactly works. Click on run file. It goes good, guys. see. Uh, so there is another one option which we have missed to select, so that is the reason it couldn't able to select. So I need to mark this as online. This option we need to select it. It is select. So I need to give either select or click. So click would be better rather than select. So this needs to be a click. So what I'm going to do is, let me add a new student, select RPA, type something, and then this option is, so I need to show the machine to select this. So adding one more activity called as click. So where do I need to place it? I need to place this after email ID. So this is click. Indicate element. I need to select on this particular box. So we need to make sure whether it is clicking what it is clicking. It's calendar widget, its tag span is there. Let's see whether it is selecting that particular item or not. But I'm just changing to click online. And the last one is submit student. Save it, and let me delete this because close this. Sorry, not delete, it's close because it must not confuse us. Run file, let's see. See guys, it has added that first student. If you see, this is like this warning is fine because it is my own account, the same account, we cannot able to add it. So that is what the warning is. But see the way it actually does, it gets it added. So like this we can able to deliver lot of additions or practicing over web-based form entries from a CSV. So thank you for joining with me, and I will meet you with another one uh, video recording where I will be showing something with UiPath.